Verse 18. His snorting throws out flashes of light. His eyes are like the rays of dawn. Firebrands stream from his mouth.
So is that dragon?
Like that. Okay, that's enough. Firebrands stream from his mouth, sparks of fire shoot out, smoke pours from his nostrils, as from a boiling pot over a fire of reeds. His breath sets coals ablaze, and flames dart from his mouth. This thing breathes fire! Now, go ahead.
Here goes my thumb. What'd you do to it?
I burned it.
Okay, so this thing breathes fire. You guys have all heard of the dragon stories, and Sir George and the Dragon, and Lancelot, and all those things.
Real.
But this creature breathes fire. Let's take a look. Keep looking at him. Strength resides in his neck. Just May goes before him. By the way, does that work for the rock? No.
No.
But it works for us.
The folds of his flesh are tightly joined. They are firm and immovable. His chest is hard as rock. This guy's got abs of steel, right?
He's got a 16 pack.
He's got abs of steel. Yeah, 16 pack or 64 pack or 640 pack. I don't know how long he is. Yeah, his belly is like rock. His chest is hard as rock, hard as a lower millstone. That was the hardest rock that they had known in that time frame. And a millstone, that's one of those big stones that they'd have an upper millstone and a lower millstone. They put the grain between them, and they'd crush it and spin the thing to grind the grain. The lower millstone was the hardest rock that they had ever found. So he's using what Job understands to say, hey, this thing is as hard as a lower millstone. That's how hard it is. When he rises up, the mighty are terrified. They retreat before his thrashing. The sword that reaches him, so if you can actually get a sword close to him, has no effect. Nor does the spear, or the dart, or the javelin.
Well, then how did they kill them? They don't.
Take a look at this next thing. Iron he treats like straw, and bronze like rotten wood.
Wow. What does he treat rotten wood like?
So if he comes into, if he's swimming along and he comes into this iron grate, he's like, right through it. That's nothing. You got something else? He breaks and bends iron and bronze easily, like it's straw or rotten wood. Just goes right through it. Arrows do not make him flee. Sling stones are like chaff to him. A club seems to him but a piece of straw. He laughs at the rattling of the lance. Weapons just bounce right off him. Good luck getting to him and killing him.
Well, then why does everyone have dragon stories? They must have killed
Hey,
them somehow.
Have you ever heard of a dragon story that actually the guy killed him? That wasn't a little fairy tale? A child fairy tale?
Okay, the dragon stories, the fact that we got dragon stories in all areas of the globe would say there's some credence to something in them. Now, those obviously are tall tales over the years, and Sir George probably did not kill the dragon with his sword, because according to this, if it's this guy, his sword would just bounce off. Or he'd hit him with the sword and the sword would break, or his arm would break, or King George would break.
He'd be like, Humpty Dumpty.
Sir George, not King.
Well, whoever George. King George, Sir George, whoever George.
You know Von George film?
Maybe it's Curious George, I don't know.
There you go.
His undersides are jagged potsherds, leaving a trail in the mud like a threshing sledge. He makes the depths churn like a boiling cauldron and stirs up the sea like a pot of ointment. Behind him, he leaves a glistening wake. Okay, this guy's amphibious. He goes up on the land, in the mud and everything, and he goes into the deep also. So he's amphibious. Behind him, he leaves a glistening wake. He's fast. This guy puts out a wake. You can ski behind him.
We don't suggest you do it.
Yeah, I don't suggest you do it because as soon as he catches up to you, you're toast. One would think the deep had white hair. Nothing on earth is equal. A creature without fear. He looks down on all that are haughty. He is king over all that are proud. Leviathan is also mentioned in 2 chapters in the Psalms. He's also mentioned in Isaiah. And most of the time it's for effect, like he's talking about here in Job. His whole point with Job is not to describe Leviathan as much as it's to say, hey, you know Leviathan, he's big and he's bad and nobody can touch him. But Job, I can. That's his whole point here.
Has anybody actually seen Leviathan? Or is it just God telling them about it?
Well, these guys had recognized who it was.
And if they have it in the Psalms and stuff.
He's in the Psalms. He's in Isaiah. So they had seen him. There's all these, listen to all these stories. And there's stories everywhere about sea monsters. And, you see these pictures of the sea monster coming up and crashing the boat in two and, stuff like that. 10,000 or 100,000 leagues under the sea.
There's 20,000.
Yeah, what they call
How many other leagues under the sea? Either way, there's a lot of stories. There's got to be something there that these people all get their stories from. They didn't just make all this up.
Dump the truth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all those people, those sailors and stuff, Columbus Island wouldn't have been scared of sailing if there wasn't anything like that. They have all these maps with dragons on it and stuff in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, and these are seasoned sailors. These aren't rookies. These are guys who do this for a living. There's my thinking. This is a Chinese dragon because, most of the dragons they show with these dinky little weird wings. This guy didn't have any wings on, so I like that picture. And he kind of looks like a serpent. No, it doesn't say anywhere that he flies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that one isn't real because he doesn't have any legs, does he?
Actually, it does talk about his legs in Psalms.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That picture.
Yes,
One right there, he's got a leg right there, one right there, one right there. Yeah, he's amphibious, so he can go on land and in the water. What's that?
Really skinny.
So this isn't necessarily it. But this guy looks pretty big and bad. And so I like the picture. Alright, so the Bible does discuss dinosaurs, does talk about something. Does dinosaur, what's the word dinosaur really mean?
Old, big lizard.
Terrible lizard.
That describes the Leviathan perfectly.
It does.
Terrible and
It
lizard.
does. It does. Okay, so what about dinosaurs in the Ark?
I've never found any Leviathan bones.
Possibly.
We're going to get to that. Actually, not Leviathan. So the answer to that question is no, not necessarily Leviathan bones. But remember, this is mostly a sea creature, so they might not ever find his bones because it might be at the bottom of the ocean, decaying, rotting somewhere.
Yeah, but it
So what about dinosaurs in the Ark? If dinosaurs were in the Bible and dinosaurs existed in Job and Psalms and Isaiah were all after the flood, then dinosaurs would have had to have been on the Ark, right? How would they fit?
It was really tall. They swim.
But, yeah, because, if that thing can swim, why did it need to be in the ark?
Okay, Leviathan, you're right. Leviathan would not have had to have been on the Ark. But what about Behemoth?
He would have.
The rushing of the Jordan doesn't throw him off, but the ocean would. He's not tall enough to breathe in the ocean, especially when the flood is over the tallest mountains.
He might be able to float though.
Yeah, I don't think anything that big is floating. Unless it's a boat, I don't think anything that big is floating.
We have the technology.